Hello everyone. We're going over Journal 2 again. We'll be in chapter 15. This will be part 3. Barabbas released. At the time of Easter, the governor Pilate was accustomed to releasing one of the prisoners from among those who were up for sentencing. It was always decided by the people, whomever they wanted, with the exception of one who was guilty of murder or of a death with intent. At this particular time, he had a prisoner named Barabbas. And when the people were gathered, Pilate asked of them, "Which one do you want me to release? Barabbas, the criminal, or Emmanuel, of whom it is said that he is a king of wisdom and the son of an angel?" Look at this one. But he knew that the priests and the elders had persuaded the people by giving them copper, gold, and silver. So they would ask for the release of Barabbas. Ever wonder why they went that direction? That's why. Money. Same reason our politicians and all of them go the direction they do. Money. Bribed off. It's like a police officer get bribed off. He knew very well that they had turned Emmanuel over because of envy and hatred, for his teachings were liked by the people. Pilate's wife also pressed him, Do not have any dealings with this just man, because today I suffered greatly in my dreams on account of him, and find his teachings are good. Therefore he was favorably inclined toward Emmanuel. Also reminds me of something else, is people you see around these celebrity stuff that are mainly paid out, like the paid actors out in the audience and stuff. Reminds me of that too. They're just paid to cheer them on, or say a certain thing, or do a certain thing for people, to make them look popular. But among the people arose much shouting and confusion, and he asked a second time, "Which one shall I release?" Slowly the shouting subsided, and the governor asked the third time, "Which one of these two shall be released?" The people shouted and screamed, "You shall release Barabbas." Pilate asked of them, "Thus it shall be. But what shall I do with him of whom it is said that is Emmanuel, a king of wisdom?" The people roared, "Crucify him! Let him be crucified." Pilate was not willing to accept such a penalty and asked very angrily, "What evil thing do you perceive this man has done that you want him to be crucified? He only taught you a new doctrine, and for this he shall suffer death?" But the people continued to shout all the louder, "Let him be crucified! Let him be crucified!" They were all paid actors, if I like to look at it. Pilate washed his hands. When Pilate saw that he could do nothing against the people, who had been persuaded, and there was great unrest and turmoil, he took a pitcher of water and washed his hands before the people and said, "You see yourself what it is you want to do to this man, and you see to it. He is the captive of the elders and the high priests, so let them judge him. I have nothing to do with this just man, for I am innocent in regard to him, and wash my hands before you in innocence." Then the people agitated, and the crowd boiled in confusion, and continued to shout, "He shall be crucified! He shall be crucified!" Pilate turned Emmanuel over to the high priests and the elders, and released Barabbas to the people. The high priests and elders had Emmanuel whipped and handed him over so that he would be crucified. The soldiers of the governor agreed with the priests and the elders and dragged Emmanuel to the courthouse. They also brought as many of the crowd inside as space allowed. They pulled his clothes from him and put a purple coat on him. They also made a wreath of thorns and put it on his head, gave him a cane into his right hand, bent their knees before him and said, "We greet you, O great King of wisdom of the Jews." They spit upon him, took the cane from his hand, and beat him on the head until his blood ran over his face and filled his eyes. When he was miserable and bleeding, Caiaphas, the high priest, asked him, "So, what are you going to do now, O you great King of wisdom?" And that's where we stop in this one.